Also, we're going to go a little over by like 15 minutes. Normally this is from 2 to 3 o'clock. And just feel free to jump off and on as you need to. Rich and I are not offended at all. I just welcome everybody. It's so good to see you here. My name is Kate Hoof and I'm the instructional designer here at Shepherd. And Rich Lanham is here as well. He's the instructional technologist. He's all things tech. And he says hi. And he's going to monitor the chat today. And so if you have any questions, just post them in the chat. Yeah, with the thumbs up. So, so he's going to monitor the chat. And two things. First, there will be a lot of information today. And if this is your first exposure to Brightspace or you're just getting into it, all of this information will be overwhelming. And so don't let it be. This is just consider it a first exposure. Take in what you can and maybe just listen for what's possible in Brightspace. Okay. I will post the recording by 6 o'clock tonight, and that will be on our YouTube channel, CTL Studio. And I will post that link in the chat right here. Let me go ahead and grab that. It will also be in the Brightspace team. Did that link come up by chance, or do I have to do it again? Let's see. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Let me try this again. There we go. I posted it a couple of times. So the link to the YouTube video is in the chat. It will also be all the information on where to find training is also on the CTL website, which is if you go to the Shepherd University website and you go to CTL. I'm sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen and I'm not. Technical difficulties. How you doing, Jim Kosher? All right, so you can see my screen, correct?
I'm drinking my Maker's Mark and the ginger ale.
Is that what you're doing? It's so good to see you. I'm going to hear you.
I'm really not doing that.
I know you're not. It's not happy hour yet. All right.
But gosh darn it.
We will end way before that. All right. So if you go to faculty and staff, Shepherd University website, and faculty and staff, go all the way down to CTL and Brightspace info right here. And this is, you can send your students here because there's some info for them. Just give them this link. And then there's some information for you. And on here we have links, information. We have a link to our YouTube channel and brand new subscription training. You want to look at that. That's just access to a D2L, which is the parent company of Brightspace, all their tutorial videos. I know I'm going through this quickly because I want to get down to everything. Here's a link to our YouTube channel. And then we are working, Rich and I are working on a library of PDFs. So you can print things out if you want. If you just want a list of instructions, the ones that we have here will at least get you started. Okay. So without further ado, remember there's going to be a lot of information in this session, and just take in what you can. And then you'll have the recording to break it up and to rewatch and review the parts that you want to learn. So the first thing I'm going to go over today is basically an overview, give you a brief tour of the LMS. What are you seeing? Then I'm going to talk to you about how you add content to your courses and where you add that, where you can create content within Brightspace. And then I will show you how to create an assignment, create a discussion, create a quiz. Those are all very similar. And I'm hoping we'll get to the grade book. So put your helmets on, we're gonna go, okay? If you want to look as well into Brightspace, if you want to sort of look around with me on your computer, you would get to the to Brightspace. You can go to the Shepherd University website, And we have quick links up at the top of the website and besides Sakai and Brightspace. And so if you click on that, just click on Brightspace. And the address is brightspace.shepherd.edu, right? And then you'll be asked to log in and you're going to use your Shepherd University email and full email address and password, and that will get you in. And as soon as you log in, this is what you will see. And what you're seeing is basically the home page for Brightspace at Shepherd University. It's not a course. This is what every professor across campus sees. This is what every student will see, okay? And so there will be university updates. We have some information that pertains to learners and training. And so this is campus wide. What stays the same and what you'll notice is you see our logo and then you'll see this 9-dot waffle. And when you click on that, that's really a course selector. You will see a listing of all of the courses that you're teaching, or maybe if you're taking a training class with me, you'll see that in there. So anything that you're involved in as the class, you will see in this list here. So you may see 4, 5, 6 classes, whatever it is here, okay? And that's what you're looking at. So the 20, 21, 30 classes, you know, you'll see the course codes and the course name as well as the section. And I may put Rich on the spot. You're going to see these weird numbers. And Rich, if you want to write in the chat what those are, or if you want to speak up and let us know about that, that would be great.
It's just the term code and the name that Banner creates when it creates the courses. That's all that refers to.
Okay.
So it looks like there's a term code in there. Then there's a section number. I think it's actually the CRM number. That's my guess. But it's just the number that Banner creates. You can kind of ignore it if you want. The main thing is just the information on the left, you know, name of your course and everything.
Okay. So that's there, and Banner puts that out, and that's sort of what we have to work with. Okay, so moving on, we have email Banner up here. You can instant message students, but you don't have a record of those instant messages, but you can email students from here as well. And that is your Shepherd email, okay? I can't remember what this is, so don't worry about that right now. These are any notifications that you might have. Talk about Brene Brown and vulnerability, you know. I'm fine. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Who's running this program?
Right. So this will be up. You'll have any type of announcements here, or notifications will be here. You'll see your name in the top right-hand corner. Okay. And when you click on that, you'll notice a few things. There are a few things of note under your name. So this is where you can view as a learner. And so, well, I'll show you how to do this later, and we'll use this later. But sometimes if you just want to see what your students can see, this is where you go to choose that. Okay. This is also where you can set your profile information and post a profile picture. You can set some account settings. This is really important, and set what kinds of notifications do you want. So for example, if you're taking a training class with me and you know, the training class runs all year, every month, but you're done, you took it in a month, done, out, you don't want to hear anything else, any updates, then you would adjust the notifications here. Okay. Account settings is basically how you want Brightspace to work for you. So this is an accessibility. They ask accessibility kinds of questions. So you can set up the platform to make it work for you with the settings that are here. So that's what's under the name. Again, there's nothing to memorize. I just want you to be familiar with what's going on here. You don't have to worry about this one, I promise. You don't really, this cog is something for people who have the keys to all the things that are Brightspace. And so you may have a cog, but it may not have a lot under it. But again, we're not really worried about it. So we're going to go to a course, and I just created one for this training, and I just named it a CTL sample course. So I'm just going to choose from that list. And so once you choose the course, what you're seeing is no longer, although it looks like that first homepage for Shepherd University, when we first logged in. It's not. It's now your course. And you know that you're in any particular course because you will see the name of the course up here to the right of the Shepherd University logo. Okay, so now I know I'm in this course, and this is simply just a cover page for the course. It's a home page. Right now, it's the best place for you to post announcements to your students, and each one of these items is called a widget, and you can post announcements right now. For example, you would just post new announcement and, you know, give it a title, write what you want to write, and then you can hit publish. You can also give it a start date and end date, you know, and you can save it as a draft, that type of thing. And so just know that from that home page, I'll go ahead and hit cancel. This is where you can create new announcements. Now, to get back to where I was, I can just click on sample course, and that will bring me back to my home page. Okay. Whenever you click on the name of your course, you'll come back to your homepage. If you click the Shepherd logo, it will take you back to the Shepherd University homepage. There's not really a reason why you would need to go back to the Shepherd University homepage, okay? Because if you need to go to another class, you can just go to your course selector and choose any other class that you want to work in, okay? All right, so we're not inside your class. It's like a fax cover sheet. That's what this is. It's a fax cover sheet, and you can adjust it. You can put your name and face in here by click on these three dots and edit. Anytime you see a down arrow beside the title, that will also be an edit option. So again, you can add your own content there. This activity feed is really like a class chat if you want to use it. Students as well as you can text back and forth using this activity feed. Okay, we're not going to get into the scope of changing the home page right now. The home page looks pretty much the same for everybody in the fall, but as we all become more familiar with Brightspace, we just didn't want you to have to worry about that right now. So it is what it is. Use it for announcements, and any dates that you have will display here. Just as you post them in your class. Okay, so announcements are good. You can put your instructor info here. Done. Okay, so done. Let's go into the course. And the place where you go into the course, the heart and soul of any course for students and for professors, is content. And so you click on the content button, and this blue bar is called the nav bar, or your navigation bar. Okay, a nav bar for short. And the first place that students will land, and really if it's your first time within your own course, the first place you're going to land is on this thing called syllabus. Rich just changed this because it makes more sense. It was called overview in the templates and all the templates that we had, and then we realized that we were able to change the name, and so consider this a really good spot for your syllabus. The overview was the place to put your syllabus and to provide a little welcome message, you know, a brief description of your course, that type of thing. And so I'll show you how to add to that in a second. We're still continuing on with our tour. Okay, so I'll show you how to add your syllabus here. I'm not going to go into bookmarks now. You're not going to use it right now. It doesn't matter. It will not help you for building. Same thing with course schedule. We're going to skip those two. Syllabus is the only thing you need to know there. Okay, we're going to go down to table of contents, and what you see here, you see a partial build of, this is a list of course modules, and course modules, just Brightspace uses a module, uses modules for its architecture, and using modules, and modules are simply file folders of content. So typically in an online class, and it is a best practice for an online class, no matter if it's hybrid or asynchronous, if you're online, the architecture, the best practice is to organize your content based in how you organize your content. Do you organize your content in lessons, in weeks, chapters, themes, whatever that is? It provides students with a organizational structure that they don't have to think too much about. They don't have to go fishing for, any certain type of file. And so I like to name the weeks for courses based on the weeks of in the semester. And so I'll show you how to add those modules there. So for me, I'm going to say week 1, week 2, week 3. So let's look inside one of these.
Well, Kate,
yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. And I told myself I wouldn't interrupt you. Because there's a lot of information. So I mean, one perspective is for me, for my, particularly I'm teaching BADM 323, Human Resource Management, Business Ethics. I mean, and it's okay, but for me, I'm going to have 16 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you will have, it'll be 16, it can be 16 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, but I'm teaching each week though, I have 3 classes of the same class. Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm teaching the same course twice. 11:10 to 12 and 1:10 to 2 o'clock. So week 1, yeah, it's week 1, but week 1 is made up of 3 sessions, if you will, 3 classes.
Right.
Is that okay? I mean,
that's absolutely okay. And I'm going to show you, and we can make sense of it. And so, if you're teaching face-to-face, I think organizing content within weeks is good. And I'll show you what I mean by that when we get to adding some content. But so students will know, oh yeah, we did this week 1. I remember we did this last week, and then maybe they see their assignment there from that week. Maybe they see some notes or a PowerPoint that you used in class that they can go back and review for homework. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Right? Got it. So try to, I know that a lot of times the main question that I get is, okay, I have a 3-hour lecture. How do I do that in an online class? And I'll show you that. But time, everything's asynchronous here, right? Time is different. There's no one set time frame. There's no one set location. So we have to really shift our thinking. But I'll show you, it'll make more sense as I show you how to.
I want it to be synchronous though.
I know you do. Just live on your computer. Okay. So I'll go through that in a second. So one of the best practices and what I recommend and what Quality Matters recommends, and this is a module, is to have a welcome module or an orientation module in your course. And I know that a lot of people use a syllabus quiz, and you think about what you talk about on the first day of school, and you have that face-to-face time. And so a welcome module for, if you're using Brightspace for a face-to-face class, may not be as in-depth as if you're teaching an asynchronous class, right? So everything you say to students on that first day of class, and you're explaining it and talking to them and helping them in a face-to-face class, you have to do that online in a asynchronous class, right? So that's the purpose of that welcome module. It's that typical first day stuff that they need to know, okay? And so this is just an example, and I'm just showing you what it looks like or what it can look like in a Brightspace module. Okay, so again, we're still doing our tour. There's nothing for you to remember or to write down. You're just taking it all in and looking at it. So if you notice for this week at the top, there's this description box where you can just say, there are a lot of welcomes in an online class, at least in mine. I'm welcoming everybody everywhere. But it's just a short 1 or 2 sentences about what they would be doing that week. And then I like to give a to-do list. Okay, you're going to do these 4 things, boom. And they know it from the top. And then and you don't necessarily need a to-do list in a welcome module, but I want them to read. I want them to read the course syllabus, get the textbook, all that stuff. So it could be something like that. And then what you see as items in the module, there's just to open up one of the items will be about your instructor. And this is where you can put, content about your office hours and who you are and all that stuff. Okay. I'm just navigating back through these breadcrumbs. I will put the syllabus again in this module. I know it's up above, but we can put the syllabus, within a welcome module for sure. And then you can, any other item that you might want to include. And again, I'm going to show you how to, I haven't showed you this, I'm just showing you what's possible, how to add these pieces of content to your module. And again, a module is just a file folder of content within the LMS. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what week 1, like an academic module, might look like. Okay, so this is a course for one of the nursing courses. And, again, we have a welcome, and this is that description box up at the top. Here's a to-do list. And then we have a begin, and what the begin does, again, these are just possibilities. You're going to build and design your content the way you see fit for your courses. But, we'll just, again, provide a description of the module along with the learning objectives. Okay. And then from there, there's a introductory icebreaker, and then discover. This is what learning content could look like within Brightspace. So we have chapter 1, watch a video, listen to a podcast, read an article, here's a textbook chapter, and then this is a little formative assessment here. Okay, so this is the content of a module, and you notice that there are different items of content on this page, as well as different items of content within the module itself. And so, for example, this one's broken down into begin, anything that's participate, it's like a discussion. I use discover, and then demonstrate is a assignment of some type, or in this case, again, a discussion board. Okay, so I just broke it down.
I don't want to be going through the nursing program at Shepherd. Holy moly, man. Homework.
It's a lot of stuff, Jeez. But it represents a week, right? So if you have a 3.5-hour class, plus homework, it's a week's worth of work that people.
I need a nap. Holy moly.
All right. All right. So that's what it looks like. Are there any questions about what I haven't gone into how you do this, but are there any questions about what you see? Does the organization make sense? Okay. All right. So how do you get stuff into content? All right, let me show you. So first, let's add a module. So Jim has 16 modules. So we're going to be clicking on add a module. So in the left-hand corner at the bottom, there's a box that says add a module. And once you click on it, your cursor is in there, and you say, just name it whatever you want to name it, and then hit return. Okay. So week 4, week 5, your Jim, week 50, week 60, whatever it is. Okay. So you can keep going down the list, down the list, down the list, down the list. So I don't have anything in week 2. And so once you create a module here, click on it. And now I know I'm in week 2. Okay. And you can add to this name if you want, or just leave it week 2. It's, you can, I've seen modules where there are dates beside them, however you want to do it. Now, in that week, I have this little description here. Okay. So what that looks like in week 2, it's not as obvious because it's built out. And this is where it is, add a description. So if I just click there, I told you I'm welcoming everybody everywhere, right? So I want to format that for accessibility, which you can do right here. We had these HTML or these text editors in Sakai, so this should look pretty familiar to you. And I would recommend that you try to get into the habit of formatting headings. And so if it's a heading at the top of a page, format it for accessibility for those of our students who use screen readers, because it can get pretty, disheartening if their screen reader reads every single thing and they can't scan it. Okay. And then you can description of your course. Okay. And then this is where I put in the to-do list, right? Do you remember those to-do lists? That's where I put that. That's a secondary heading. Okay. And then you could put your list in and then hit update. And then we have some content here. Okay. As you remember, in week 1, we also had some stuff, right? So let's say you have, I'm going to go to upload create. And let's say there's a PDF file that you would like to include in this list. Let's say there's a course reading. You want students to read a particular article. It's on your computer saved somewhere. So let's go ahead and do that. So you click on this blue button and you have lots of options of what you can include here. Okay. So I can say upload a file. So I have a PDF somewhere on my computer. And I can always drag and drop.
Can it be a Word document, Kate?
Absolutely. It can be
Okay,
a Word document. Yeah, it can be a PDF, Word document, any type of file for the most part. PowerPoint. I think I have an article here. Yeah, there's an article. Okay, so I'm sure you have articles that you want students to read. And then just say add. And it will be there. Now, obviously, I want that to be a different title because that looks a little weird. So again, this drop down arrow beside any title in Brightspace, you notice it here, you notice it here. Beside any title, there's going to be that drop down, and that drop down will let you edit that thing. Okay. And maybe I just click on it first, edit title. Okay. So I clicked on it to edit title. Current issues in education. Okay. So to get back to where I was, right, I have these 2 arrows up at the top. I can go back, or I can just go through those breadcrumbs that were over to the left-hand side of the screen. So, oh, and that actually, the arrows actually took me back to week 1. So we'll go into week 2. So I have my PDF document, right? So I was able to add a PDF document. Let's say I want to.
Can I quickly interrupt?
Yeah, absolutely, DJ. What you got?
Just go back to 1 click back. So you've got the PDF up.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, but just the PDF. Don't need the actual showing it. So
Okay.
the link for one. So under there, can I add a comment about the article? So like saying you need to read this article, this covers point 1, 2, and 3. Does it make, which you could do in Sakai, you could put a little box that would just give us sort of like a mini overview of that article or whatever.
Not in this method, but I'm going to show you the next method where you can.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So what I'm showing everybody right now is just how to add stuff. If you want a list of stuff. So I should have prefaced this with, this would be a really good idea if you wanted to just have a module that you name resources and you wanted to upload every single file for students to access that you wanted them to access there. Okay. So in that case, you're not really shaping it, DJ, for teaching. You're just uploading links, you're uploading files, so it's piecemeal. It's just single files. And this is the most basic way to do it. But I'm going to show you the way that you want in about 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So you can see here that you can add a link to something. For example, if there's a YouTube video that you would like to link to, you would do that here. And you have different options. All of it works the same way. It would provide you with different links down this list. Okay. So if we go back to our week 1 that's built out, you can see that I have different kinds of content here. I have something that's a web page, which DJ, that's going to get to your question in just a second. I have a discussion topic. another web page, and another discussion topic. So I tend to use this next method to add content to my website, to my pages. So DJ, what you bring up, I'm going to go into this health policy chapter 1. And what you're seeing here is this is a web page, quote unquote, in Brightspace. And I think, DJ, this is what you're getting to, where you have this nice flow of stuff for students to do. And you get to provide a description.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that next. So you can see I have a video, I have a link to a podcast, so you can have a link to a PowerPoint or an article or something. I have a link to an article. I have some direction. Okay. All right. So how do you do that? Again, I'm going to go back through these breadcrumbs, go back to week 1, just to get out of this piece. I'm going to go to week 2. So this was my individual thing, PDF, but I want to create something that, you know, looks a little bit nicer and it flows better, where it's not link, 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 right? So I'm going to click on Upload, Create, and I'm going to go to Create a File. And creating a file is really creating a web page. And don't let that scare you, because all it is you're within this HTML editor, which is what you had in Sakai. So I'm going to enter a title here, and maybe, you know, within week 2, they're working on chapter 3. And let's say we're studying, I'm terrible at coming up with examples, but let's say they're studying, you know, pizza, right? Love pizza. Let's say chapter 3 is on pizza. And you can certainly put stuff in here. I'm going to guide you to these templates. And the templates are really great because they make your course look really good. Okay. And it gives you a template where you just put in your own text. And the best part about it is that it's formatted for accessibility already. And so for our students who use screen readers, it has all these headings in here so that the screen reader isn't reading every single thing when the student just wants them to scan through. Okay. So I highly recommend use of these document templates. And again, it's just to the right. The template that you're seeing now, I just used basic page, but you can see that there are all kinds of templates that you can use and just experiment with to see what you like the best. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. And now I have my basic page. So when I click on this title, for example, perhaps I write, you know, something about pizza, right? And then I might have a sentence about pizza. Okay. And then maybe I want you to watch a pizza video. Okay. So how do you put a video in? Lots of information. Okay. So I have my typing, and whenever you see in Brightspace an HTML editor, you will always see these tools up here over to the left. And this first tool is everything, and it's called Insert Stuff. That's the name of the tool because you get to insert all kinds of stuff. And to DJ's point, I can insert any of the stuff that's listed in this list, right? So that PDF that I had on my computer, I can bring it in through Insert Stuff. I can look through other files within the course. I can create a video note on the fly. And again, I just encourage you to experiment with all these, but know that you can talk to your students and provide a quick lecture. Hey, 3 things to remember, FYI, about pizza, 1, 2, 3, and then you can post it here. I haven't had luck with the YouTube video links, but to add a video, I like to use an embed code. I can certainly add a link and it will show up as a link, but I'm going to click on embed code. So I'm going to add a video. Okay. Now, I know that my video is on YouTube, and I'm going to go to the CTL studio on YouTube, right? And just a plug for our video channel. And I'm going to go ahead and select a video. Weird. I'm there, here, everywhere. And I'm going to click on share. Okay. In any share, whether it's from YouTube or Microsoft Stream, if you upload videos to there, you're looking for the embed code. And you copy the whole thing from less than sign to greater than sign. Just hit copy. Okay. When I go back to Brightspace, wrong Brightspace. When I go back to Brightspace, just to review, I want to add a pizza. I'm on insert stuff. I want to enter an embed code. I paste it in this box. I click on next, and then I click on insert, and the video is there. Okay, so I can still add text around it. Okay. Any questions on how to embed a video?
Hi, Kate. Which template did you choose again?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
so
missed that.
yeah, Janine, this template, and if you like it, we're going to use these in your class. I chose basic page.
Okay.
Okay, and you might decide in your classes, maybe you have a video lecture and you just want that to be on one section within the module. That's fine. There's a template for that. So I would just look at, I go between blank and basic page.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And those are really good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to keep adding stuff, right? So let's say they watch the video and I want to add a PowerPoint. I have some notes and I know that you have PowerPoints that you want to add. I know that you do, so we're just going to go over it. Okay, let's say I want to keep this text here and then they're going to watch a PowerPoint. Now we just learned about the embed code, and you do the same thing for a PowerPoint, but there's a caveat to that. The PowerPoint has to be within the web version of PowerPoint. It can't be the desktop version. So, you know, when you go to your email, go to your email, right? And you have access to all the Microsoft suite of apps. Okay. To get to the version of desktop PowerPoint, you just go to this waffle, the select app selector, and choose PowerPoint. I always work out of this app, but then you know you're within PowerPoint, the web app for PowerPoint.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and open up this PowerPoint presentation through the web app.
So can I interrupt there again with your PowerPoint?
Sure.
So if I've got all my PowerPoints stored on a external hard drive, I can't drag and drop them in?
No, but what you can do, DJ, is upload them to OneDrive. And then, so you would go to OneDrive. Okay.
Now, if they're already stored in my old courses that have been transferred over by Rich, can I drag them in from there?
Okay. You guys are really freaking annoying. I'm out of here.
You can try it.
Okay.
They would be in your course already. We know that we know that quizzes, discussion boards, and assignments migrate over really well.
Yeah.
Content within lessons will be messy.
Okay.
And messy, I mean, and that's not a Shepherd thing. That's not a Brightspace thing. That's not a Sakai thing. That's just the way Sakai and Brightspace talk. So it's, or how they don't talk. And so what you'll see is that list over to the side. Your content will be all over the place in different modules to the right in that list of modules. So it may be easier to take those PowerPoints that are on your hard drive and upload them to OneDrive.
Okay.
Okay. So working out of that web version, I can go to File and click on Share, and I get that same embed code. Okay. And I'm just going to copy and paste, and these are different sizes. I use this size here. Okay. And I copied this code and I close. And then from there, I'll go back to the module that I'm building. And if you remember, insert stuff, enter embed code, and it's the same process. Okay, I think I actually copied the one for the smaller PowerPoint, but then the PowerPoint is there. Okay, so those are both, I know videos and PowerPoints are two things that people like to add to their courses. And I recommend you use embed codes for that. Okay, so from there, you can add, let's say you're ready to add an assignment or a quiz or a discussion because you want them to do something. Okay, so you can put them within this page, or you can create a new item within this module. That's up to you, how you decide you want that to work. You know what you've done in Sakai. So that's just up to you how you want to do that. But if we're within this web page here, I want you to look at these tools again, right? So we have insert stuff, and you saw the different kinds of things that you can insert. And then we have this link here. And this link is it's quick links, and you can grab things like assignments that you've already built. And we're going to get to building assignments next, okay? But I've built these assignments already, and now I can pull them into my modules. So there's a health policy paper I want them to do. And again, to DJ's point, I can certainly type assignment and spell it correctly. Okay. And I'll give that some type of heading. I can put some verbiage around it and then put a link to the assignment here. And again, that was from a quick link. The same is true for, you can link to quizzes and discussion boards, anything that you've built already. So now when I save and close, within this pizza module, right, I have that PDF document, and then I have my chapter 3 pizza. This is course content, right? So we see the video, we see a PowerPoint, we see an assignment.
So
Yeah.
then Kate, so then a student goes in. So the way they see the whole PowerPoint, do they click on that?
Yeah, absolutely. They can click through, they can make it bigger.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So at the bottom of that,
It works.
It does work. Yeah. And you can copy a bigger embed code. You know, when we were in PowerPoint with that embed, I should have copied maybe this bigger one. Okay. You can choose the size that you want to embed. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what students will see. And then in these templates, you can put in your own logo if you want, or just delete this. And then the arrows will take them to the next module or to the next piece of this module. You know, sometimes in these call out boxes, if you use this template, you can, you know, put in, you know, takeaways, or next you'll be learning about, you know, some type of heads up, something like that. Okay. So that's what that looks like. So now when we go back to week 1, and I showed you that built out module, what you may be a little bit more familiar with is how to get content in this gray box, which is you just click in that gray box and add content, start typing. You know how to create that web page, which is that pretty page that we just built on pizza, right? Where we could add different kinds of content. And you did that by clicking on the blue button and saying create a file. And then that's where we named it. You always have to name things in Brightspace. We chose a template and then we got to work. Okay. And we used insert stuff to add things to that page. And then you also know that we can upload files individually to this piece and add other things. So if you want to just add a new assignment to this list, then I would choose new assign. Oh, no, we're not going to get to that. Forget that. Wipe that out. Delete it. Okay. All right. So that is how you add content to a module. Okay.
How do you, and I don't know, how do you get rid of a week?
Yeah, sure. That's a
How do you
good question.
delete a week?
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I was in week 2. Let's say I want to delete week 3. So typically in this down arrow, you have the choice to edit. You also have the choice to delete. And that's going to be true in just about every time you see a down arrow.
Okay.
So you just click delete. It says you want to make sure. You have 2 choices here. Do you just want to remove it at face value and keep the stuff in the background? And that's the one I typically choose. So I can click delete there or cancel. Permanently delete means that you're deleting all of the content that you added to the class. So,
But just for that week though.
yes. Yes. So all that stuff that I just added to the course, it lives in your course. And it's similar to, I guess, your resources file in Sakai, but in this folder, you go to course tools and course admin. This folder is in the background. It's not meant for students to see. Students don't really use it or see it. It's just where things live in your course. And so that module is referring back to these, everything I just added, it lands here in the background. Okay. And so when I select that second option to delete everything, it's deleting it from here too.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when I go back to content, let's add a syllabus and I'll show you how to create an assignment. Okay. So in this syllabus piece, which everyone's going to add a syllabus, I have Jim's syllabus right here. So the easiest way to do this is to select, beside add attachment, is to select this down arrow here. And I have a syllabus here at the bottom of my screen. I could have it on my desktop too. It doesn't matter. I'm going to click and drag inside this box. And it will do its thing. It'll load. And depending on how long your syllabus is, it'll take about that amount of time. It'll prepare a preview. And then the syllabus is there. Okay. Students can print it. And I believe in the print, then they can download and, print a PDF and download from there. You can, let's say you uploaded the wrong one. Again, that little drop down beside the word syllabus, you can change the attachment. You can remove the attachment. You just do it all right there and it'll walk you through it. You can add your welcome message. Again, welcome everybody. Okay, so that is how you add a syllabus. Okay.
Once again, this stuff Kate, I'm sorry, this stuff needs to be on the OneDrive or something like that, or?
No,
I-
no.
Okay.
You can, so in this, whether you upload content from your computer. So Jim, the syllabus that I just had, I had it on my computer. It was from my download files, and I
Okay.
happened to have just downloaded it, and I was just able to drag and drop. I could just as easily grab a bunch of content from my desktop and drag it over, and it will populate the course. So for example, in week 3, do you see where it says drag and drop files?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. Let's say I have these files on my desktop. I have a bunch of icons here. I'm gonna drag and drop these 4 things. Okay. So what does that do? So I was just in a module. I was able to drag and drop. This is a really good way if you want to have a module that you call resources, and you just want to put all your resources over there. So it might look like, let me edit the title. You grab these buttons, you can move things around. So I might have a course. What I'm planning to do for my own courses, and what I have in a training course right now, I have modules, and then I do have a file folder of all the content in one place. It's okay to have content in multiple places. And so, they can see where it was in the weeks or where to turn it in the weeks. But if they just want to get to the handout and they can't remember which week it was in, then it's in resources. Okay.
And that's a module, right? That's a module that you named resources. Is that correct?
Yep. Because all modules are file folders to organize your content, right? And if you're organizing learning materials for students, it makes sense that that you go week by week. That's
arguably I could see where I would put and for my class, it happens to be, I've got 16 PowerPoint slides. Arguably, I could see where I'd put all 16 PowerPoint slides in the resources area. And then every week all of the 16 weeks, I would just go over a high level explanation of what we were doing that week, and then reminding them to go to the resource area and review PowerPoint slide 1 and 2 or whatever.
Yeah, you could do it like that. I would put it in both.
Yeah, I know you would, but I'm looking at the most simplest way to do it because I like getting out of this stuff. But yeah.
Just saying.
I'll just so if I was Dr. Hoff, you would also have your PowerPoint slide here, but I just have it in the resource area, period.
But you also teach face-to-face, so you're good. Who else had a question?
So you can click and drag these files from your desktop, but not PowerPoint? Is that the bottom line?
I think it will. Let me try that. You can. It may just appear. It will appear by itself as a PowerPoint. You can. So I have a PowerPoint. Let me just put click and drag or upload a PowerPoint. They work the same way. I have a PowerPoint on my computer, so I'll show you what it looks like, and it will look the same way. There's a PowerPoint here. Right, yeah. Let's see. Let me find a different PowerPoint. But it will just show up by itself. Let's try this one.
Meaning you cannot put in a heading or something like that?
Yes, meaning you cannot put in a heading. It will just be the PowerPoint itself. Yes.
It was like the PDF file you put in earlier on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So whether or not you upload it from your computer or drag and drop your files, it's piecemeal. It's one by one by one.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So, one
Yeah.
question: when you've made the module, say week 1, when you at the bottom it adds, there's a little icon saying add submodule.
Yeah.
Could I then have week 1 and then say, because I teach on the Tuesday and Thursday, create a module like they just open week 1, but then they'd have a module Tuesday and a module Thursday?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, and that's one of the things with building your course, DJ, that I'm sure you had a method in Sakai, and you have other options on how you organize it in Brightspace. And so that's going to be, a lot of just experiment to see what works best for you, to see what makes the most sense for your students. And I'm sure you'll change it and tweak it right after the fall semester for sure.
Not a job, it's an adventure.
Yeah, it will be. Oh, that's a good attitude. Okay, so we know how to add some content. We know how to upload some content. We know how to add a syllabus to our course. So I do recommend the workflow. If you remember, in week 2, I was able to pull down, I created that web page of content, right? So it's just scrolling, it's easy. And I added this assignment. So the workflow, I was able to add that assignment because the workflow, what I recommend for assignments, discussions, and quizzes is to go into those tools and build your content there. So let's go ahead and build an assignment. And a quick aside, when Rich migrates your courses, what will be organized and pretty much ready to go for sure will be assignments, discussions, and quizzes. And discussions are forums from Sakai, okay? Those 3 things migrate really well. And so you should be able to go into assignments and see a list of content there. The same for discussions, the same for quizzes, and they should be usable at that point. And so what you will be able to do is do what I did for that week 2, which was those are considered existing activities. And I can either add them to a page through that quick link, or I can add them to this list here where I can't write above or below them, right? I can just add it as a link, which is perfectly fine. So existing activities, because I already created them, let me go ahead and grab an assignment. I want to put the health policy paper here, and there it is. Okay, so how did I create that? Well, if you need to create new assignments, ones that maybe didn't migrate over, if you just want to start from scratch, you go to new assignment. And this will just walk you through it.
Wait, Kate, if we
Yeah.
wanted to use an assignment from one of our previous courses, but we didn't like merge any content, we can just still pick it up, or do we have to merge content first into the new course?
You would have to migrate, merge content into the new course, and then it would be there. Otherwise, you can copy and paste, and you would have to do this method, Janine. You would have to say
Okay.
new assignment. Yeah. So with this assignment, let's say it's the, pizza assignment. And you can put in how many points you want it to be in. I'm not going to show you how to do this, but just know you can connect it to your grade book. Okay, and that will be, I'll post that video about the grade book. And I know Rich is having a training on the grade book coming up. Okay. But this is where you can put in the due date. So let's say the due date's the 30th at 11:59. You type in your instructions. Okay. The cool thing about Brightspace here, you have some options down here. You can record audio instructions of up to 60 seconds and attach it. You can record a video of yourself explaining the instructions to your students, which can be really helpful. And FYI, if you're teaching an asynchronous course, it's a great way to make sure you're present in your class, even though it may be October and you recorded, and you recorded the instructions in August, right? But it's a great way to put your face in the class and to be present. Over here, you can also upload, perhaps if they need an article to read, or upload a PowerPoint that the assignment refers to. You can do that with these links here. And you notice that this is a web link if you want them to look at a website, upload a course file, and then this is an existing content within your class, okay? So know that you can do all that. So now we have some availability dates and conditions. We have a start date, and let's say that starts on the 19th. So it's not going to be visible until then. And then the end date, if you don't take any late work, nope, that's it, done, then the end date should be the same as the due date. And this means that the students can no longer submit work beyond this date, okay? If you choose a date that goes beyond the due date, let's say you give them a couple of extra days to be late, but you knock off some points or something like that, then you set the end date to be a little bit later. So when students turn in work, perhaps on August 1st, and the due date was on the 30th of July, then it will indicate that it was turned in late. Brightspace will indicate that it was late work, but they still have the opportunity to turn it in before this end date. As of, according to this, when you set the end date, it is as of that date that, as I said, they can no longer have access to it. They can see it, but they can't turn it in, okay? So that's what those dates are. You can also leave it blank if you just want to go with the due date and just have them be able to put it in there. I'm not going to go over this right now, but know that you can set release conditions so that they don't have access no matter the dates unless they've watched this video or unless they reviewed this content or visited this content. Obviously, we don't know if they've reviewed your PowerPoint that you had in your module, but the fact that they had to visit the module or take a quiz, whatever it is, you can set those release conditions. That would be considered an intermediate or an advanced skill. Don't worry about it right now, just know that it's there. You can also provide special access to assignments to different students. So if there are any types of accommodations, or if you want to give students, certain students in your class more time, this is where you can assign the special access. Submission completion, what kinds of files can students submit? Is it unlimited? Can they submit multiple files, or you just want one paper done? Don't give me anything else. Text submission would just mean they type it in here. Okay, observed in person. Typically it's file submission. Okay, this is the sort of the default setting. And then evaluation and feedback. Again, rubrics are more intermediate. It's not beyond the scope of this training. But just know that you can create rubrics within Brightspace. And know that this is not an attachment. So I know that you use rubrics. It's not a matter of attaching it. It's a matter of creating it so you can actually use it to grade. And that will make the grading pretty fast. Just know that it's there. You can also post your learning objectives here if you want. This is really important down here because there is Turnitin integration. So you can manage that down here for any papers and if you use Turnitin. Okay, so I just recommend that you know that the stuff is here and to just experiment with it when you create assignments. So from there, I'll say save and close.
You tell me, what is the make annotations available?
I think that's when you're grading a paper, when students turn in work, they upload a file, you'll be able to annotate on that file that they submitted into Brightspace. Okay. So the recommended workflow is to create all of your assignments first. And then when you go into content, let me actually go back to assignments one more time. You can see these eyeballs with lines through them. It means it's not visible. And go ahead and make it visible to users. The the dates that we set, if the date is tomorrow or on Sunday or on Monday at 8 o'clock, even though it's visible, it's not going to be visible to them until that date, until it's released. Okay. But you can make it visible again by that drop down. You can edit the assignment from here. You can make it visible, or you can hide it again.
How do you, Kate, I might be jumping way ahead, or maybe you did cover it. Like for me, an assignment would be for my class, the students need to write a paper, right? That's an assignment, right? How do I assign points to that?
Yeah, so when they turn something in, you will get a box. You can go into the grade book to grade. And unfortunately, I don't have anything turned in to show you, but you'll be able, that assignment, that paper will come in, and there will be a place for you to write comments or to record comments. You can do audio comments or video comments. And then you can also put in the point value there. Okay. So now that I have, when I'm back in content, I have that existing activity that I just created, and I have that pizza assignment. So I can click on it and add it to that module. Yeah.
So Kate, so you build the assignment in assignments.
Yes.
Okay, so you could just open that up. So is that what the students would also see as well? If you
So,
I mean, I know you can make it visible or not visible, but the idea being is that fundamentally you build it in there and then you move it over to content to create a workflow.
yes.
Okay, got you.
So, which reminds me, so when I go to my name and we say view as a learner, let's see what they can see. So notice these two are visible. Now the dates may not be correct, right? So we'll see what learners can see, but these last two are not visible. So if I say view as learner, notice my icon has changed to an orange icon with arrows in it. And I can go to assignments, and this is how they see it.
Okay.
And then they can certainly just go to assignments and start in. Okay. And then this is how they would see content. Okay.
Now, with the restrictions on, say, the assignment within the content, once it will still carry the limitations on it. So it would disappear within the content at that particular time you've set.
They would be able to see it, I believe, but they can't access it.
Okay, got you.
To get out of this, for me, this wasn't intuitive. To go back to yourself, just X out. I had to figure that one out. That I didn't do too well with that. Okay, we X out of things all the time, but you just X out to X out of viewing as a learner. Okay. So discussions, it's the same way, right? I recommend you build all of your discussions and first. And discussions need two things to live. It needs a forum. To create a discussion, you have to create a forum, which is just the overall theme or topic. And then you create the actual discussion question that lives in that forum. So for example, I'm in my discussions tool and I go to new, and I have to create a forum first. Now I can create just a forum that I name it class discussion board, and all of my discussion topics would go under that general forum. Or you might want to break your forums up. Maybe you have, maybe you break them up by topic or by theme. Maybe you have reflection forums. Maybe you have academic forums. However you want to organize your stuff. But I'm going to at least create one. You have to at least create one forum for your discussion board. I don't like to have a lot of little containers. So I just name it class discussion forum. You can name it semester forum. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be the big container. No one needs to see this, so I don't put anything here. And again, this is the forum, which is just the theme, the big container. Okay. I'm going to click save and close. Let me find my, there it is, class discussion forum. I'm going to add a topic. And your topics are your actual discussion questions, okay? So we might say week 1 icebreaker. This is where you would type in your questions. Okay, you can insert stuff. You can do anything here. You have some options here. You can allow anonymous posts. You can click on a moderator must approve individual posts before they're displayed. Users must start a thread before they can read and reply to others. So they have to do their own first before they can, right? So just know that you have these choices. This ratings thing is sort of like a ratings review on Yelp or something, you know, like you can allow it. So if you give a vote up or vote down or a 5-star rating scheme, like if you want to have them rate, you know, the most informative discussion board post of the week, you can have ratings if you want students to be able to rate each other, or you can just leave it off, but just know that that's there. Okay. And then you can either then you have some restrictions here. And again, it has a start date. You can put in an end date if you want it to end it. You don't have to have an end date. You just leave it up the entire time. Do you want it to display in that calendar that you saw on that home page? You can. And then you can unlock a topic for a certain range. I haven't really experimented with these yet, so this might be, you could do a trial if you wanted to. I've just really worked with these availability. I haven't locked things up. Okay. And then you can connect it to the grade book. Again, it's beyond the scope. Just know that this is here and you can add a rubric. And then you would hit save and close. So when I go into content, and I go to existing activities, I can choose discussions, and I and the week 1 icebreaker that I just created. Okay. When you, we're out of time, but when you create quizzes, it's the same process and the same workflow. So you can, we have videos in the CTL library that talks about the question library, and we'll be doing more trainings on that. But it will be, you know, new quiz, and then you can add it to your content from there. Okay. We are at 3:14, so I thank you for your attention and your time. And just reach out anytime with any questions that you have. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes to answer anyone's questions if you have them right now. Otherwise, thank you so much for attending.
On assignments, in Sakai, we had to publish, I'm sorry, in quizzes, I mean, we had to publish the quiz. Mm-hmm. And when I uploaded my quizzes, I saw it said publish, but it just has a line. It doesn't say it's published. Do we have to physically publish it?
You have to make it visible. Okay, so let's just say I have a new quiz. This deals with gradebook. Add and edit questions. Add questions, new question, true or false. That's not a true and false question, but anyway, so you put your answer in. You can create all kinds of questions here and then click on save. So now when I go back into settings, I can, set all the restrictions and the assessments and do all much of the same stuff that you can do here. When I just go into quizzes to look at that quiz, it has that eye here. The default setting always for a quiz is that it's not published. You have to make it visible to users. Okay. And it will be visible to users based on the dates you set in there. So Dory, when inside that quiz, on these restrictions, those dates work exactly the same way that they do for assignments and discussions. Okay. And then this box will automatically be checked, and then you can uncheck it and then put in those dates. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, so when you go back to the quizzes page where it says published over there on the right, that's kind of means nothing, right? Because it just has a line.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the eyeball. And then where you can check to make sure, they can see it or they can't see it is using this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I just have a good thing to say. But I thought that we had to build all of our assignments and tests from scratch. And I am so happy to learn that we don't have to do that. Like literally, I can now move forward instead of cringe and fear of rebuilding everything. So thanks to you and Rich for the magic that y'all have done, because I remember in the beginning stages, you guys said that we would have to at least Rich said that we would have to, build it because it wouldn't import or something like that. So
yeah, and the lessons and yeah, and Janine, I got you with your classes. And with quizzes, I think right now our colleagues in the math department are having a hard time because there are a lot of links and different things within their quizzes. But if it's a simple, so far the courses where I've moved stuff over, the assignments, discussions, and quizzes have come over really well.
okay.
And so
Yeah, I just imported just to make sure I knew how to do that before you got off. So I was able to import the assignments and quizzes.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are going to be links. If you use any links in there, you want to check those, and you'll probably have to relink, but otherwise.
okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're going to have more in-depth training, and I know that this was a ton of information. Again, it's an overview, and you know what's possible and just sort of the workflow on how to do things with this. And then just get in there and start. You're not going to break it. Okay. You might get frustrated. And if you do, just email me and I'll help you. Okay. So yeah, thank you for your time, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. Thanks, Janine.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye, Sharon. Bye, Dory. Bye, Janine. You're having a resource folder and modules, Jim. I'm telling you, I start building it. First, it's so good to see you. How are you feeling? Are you okay? You doing okay?
I keep, and I'm not talking to anybody anymore about what I went through because I just feel like it's sucking the life energy out of
Okay,
people.
well then we won't talk about it.
No, I didn't mean to you. I will.
Okay.
I'm lucky to be alive is what happened.
I know you are.
And I told one of the nurses, God, I had great medical care.
Yeah.
I told one of the nurses, one of the young ladies there, I said, this is the worst I get that I'm 66 years old, but this is the worst I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
So it was an eye opener, and I keep getting better exponentially every day. as an example, I came home Sunday and I was flipping out a little bit because I couldn't imagine how I'd be able to go to school in about 5 or 6 weeks and just be able to walk to the campus and teach. Well, I'm fine now. I mean, I'm taking out the garbage, lady,